At the end of June 2020, the Governor passed SB98, which outlines instructional time and attendance reporting requirements. In the next several slides, I will be going over a brief overview of the requirements. I would also like to point out that in this presentation, you will see the acronym LEA several times. LEA stands for Local Education Agency, which means district. Lastly, here is the URL where you will find the FAQs on the attendance requirements by the California Department of Education. This presentation includes the required number of instructional days, documentation of daily participation for each student when distance learning is provided, weekly engagement record documenting synchronous or asynchronous instruction, documenting absences and tiered re-engagement strategies. Finally, I have outlined the district's protocols and included screencasts on how to meet the requirements. First, I will go over the required instructional days and minutes. There is a requirement of 180 days of school. There are no changes to the calendar approved by the Board of Trustees in 2018. As far as instructional minutes, it is required that students participate in at least 240 minutes of instructional time each day. This could be a combination of synchronous or asynchronous instruction. There had been a question on where to document the time value of asynchronous assignments. There is no need to detail how each asynchronous assignment adds up to a certain time value. Certifying your weekly engagement that indicates full or partial day of synchronous or asynchronous instruction should meet the time value expectations. SB98 defines distance learning as a mode of instruction in which the student and instructor are in different locations and students are under the general supervision of a certificated employee of the district. In the dark gray box, you will see some examples of distance learning instruction. Again, instructional time is based on time value of synchronous or asynchronous instruction. For the second part, LEAs are required to maintain daily participation and weekly engagement record for each student receiving instruction through distance learning. In addition, daily live interaction is also required. In the next slide, I will go over each of these requirements. First, there have been questions about the difference between daily live interaction and daily participation. For me, to help me understand the difference, I see daily live interaction as students having some form of contact with a certificated employee and ideally with peers. I see this as maintaining the connection with students, more so in the social emotional area. Daily participation is about tracking learning activities, which actually may include daily live interaction. Daily participation can be verified through a variety of methods. Participation may be verified through evidence of participation in online activities, completion of regular assignments, completion of assessments, and contact between employees of the LEA and students or parents or guardians, or by another means determined by an LEA. Now, this daily participation is used to track attendance for that day. We are still obligated to take attendance during the day for chronic absenteeism purpose. Weekly engagement record must also be submitted to document synchronous and or asynchronous instruction for each day. Again, at the end of the slide are some screencasts that will show you how JUHSD will meet these requirements. So to be considered present for the day, students must participate in one or more of the following activities. Either daily live interaction activities such as participating in Zoom meetings, complete independent work, or work on assignments by the end of the school day, or one-on-one interaction with staff via email or phone. We have different codes for attendance, and teachers must take attendance every day, and they may wait until the end of each day. So the codes are UNV for no participation or the student is absent, POS, or you can also leave it blank if there is some form of synchronous or asynchronous instruction that happened during that day and that the student participated. TEX is for technical issues, and it is excused. SB98 specifies that a student must be given an excused absence for a day of distance learning instruction if they are unable to connect because they have no internet access or don't have device capable of accessing the distance learning opportunities. During a synchronous day, a student must fill out a Google form in order to show participation for that day. Each school site will have its own protocols on how this would be taken during asynchronous days. Daily attendance, please keep in mind, should not impact student grades. The purpose of this attendance record is to meet the state requirements and to identify students that need re-engagement. As far as the re-engagement procedures, we've developed some three tiers to re-engage students, and we are required to re-engage students if a student is absent for more than 3 school days or 60% of the instructional days in a school week. Our Tier 1 support is to promote welcoming culture that values community engagement and attendance. This will be done through the superintendent's, principals, and teachers' welcome message valuing attendance. We will also be celebrating and recognizing students that are present for most of the days. We also need to verify parent and guardian contact information. For the students that we cannot reach out, teachers need to reach out to these students and log into student contact in Synergy. For Tier 2 support, we need to identify the attendance issues. This is when students are absent for 3 or more days. Attendance letters will be sent to the students. Student, parent, or guardian meetings must occur. This is with counselors, dean, and/or administrators. A student assistance team may also be held. For a third tier of intervention, which is intensive intervention with 6 or more days of absence, attendance letters will be continued to send out. There could be a student study team meeting held, referral to health social services, or home visits. On this last page, if you click on this link, you will see the protocols that I had just spoken about. You can use that as your reference. And on the right-hand side, please click on these links for a screencast on how to take attendance, what the weekly engagement record will look like, and how to access this in your TeacherView account, and the same goes with daily participation. Please remember to certify your weekly engagement record and daily participation every 2 weeks. If you have any questions, please feel free to send your principal or I an email. Thank you so much.